We just finished a record-setting year of gun violence in our communities that largely helped to inspire our Save Our Streets initiative. I'm Bill Anderson, and in 2021, we came together with you to look for solutions. But as one year ends and another begins, we have to recommit ourselves to doing our part. When you're losing nearly 2 people every single day to gun violence, it's hard to feel encouraged.
Philadelphia was once known as the city of brotherly love. We're now known as Philadelphia, the city of brotherly violence.
But one thing we learned over the last several months is that there are more people than any of us ever imagined who have shown that as bad as it seems, we can never give up hope.
All of these kids need to be safe. That's all that matters.
They're community activists.
What are we gonna do?
Entrepreneurs.
I'm actively opening the doors because people have opened the doors for me. I haven't always been who I am, and I'm still a work in progress.
Teens.
We just need to stop because at the end of the day, we're all a community and we all trying to make it out.
And leaders.
We need for there to be serious consequences because these folks have shown that there is no regard whatsoever.
They are us, everyday people doing whatever it takes.
Homes, schools, and drug addiction. These kids don't know how to articulate their struggles, their pains, their trauma.
The commitment that we're seeing more and more is that for every family devastated by violence,
I didn't think I was going to make it just because they sounded so close. Like I didn't know where they were coming from.
we must have several committed to ending it.
So we need mentoring programs to jump in so that the young folks will see that clean glass of opportunity and be able to choose that instead of that negative stuff that's being reinforced daily on the television, the radio, social media.
So join us as we take a look at people making a difference and remind ourselves that no matter how bad it seems, we can never give up hope. I think we all know that there are several groups involved in this search for safety in our communities, and perhaps none more polarizing than our leaders and elected officials. It's their job to actually help us find safety, so they're most likely to be criticized and applauded. But through all of this, we have found that there are several that are stepping up and offering hope. When solving gun violence is one of your primary responsibilities, then every misstep is likely to be highlighted.
We don't have a crisis of lawlessness. We don't have a crisis of crime. We don't have a crisis of violence. And that is a category that includes gun violence.
But if we're going to point out the mistake, then we also have to highlight the response.
I failed in not acknowledging that pain and that suffering, a pain that disproportionately affects people of color and poor people. So for that, I am truly sorry.
In the last year, we've gotten a close look at how elected officials view gun violence.
It will continue to be a problem when you can get a gun in Pennsylvania faster than you get a driver's license.
We've seen tough talk.
506 people dead, and we haven't hit the end of the year. We can't wait 3 years, can we here?
We're not waiting. We're starting today.
We've seen emotional pleas.
I am tired. I am devastated. I was born here, and I deserve to be safe. When I have my children afraid to come to school, it's a problem.
And we've seen firsthand experiences.
It shouldn't happen to me or to anyone.
As our officials get involved in battle to save our streets, we and they must remember that gun violence doesn't care about their title.
I still can't go to sleep, even though they're 23 and almost 21, until I know that they're home. If they've been traveling or, my oldest son works crazy hours and he commutes, he doesn't have a car. And so I'm still a mom.
As 2021 went on, the need for elected and appointed officials to join together with the community became more and more clear.
I mean, it's awful that young people out here shoot one another, but we're the adults, right? Kids gonna do what they can get away with, no matter what kind of kid, on any spectrum, so we gotta take the responsibility.
And it was encouraging that there seems to be a commitment to work together.
We have to stop with shifting blame. We have to stop with finger pointing. And I think we'll definitely get there. We should never, ever lose hope. because these are our lives, these are our communities, these are our blocks, and we can definitely take our blocks back.
So as we look at the reasons for hope, let's make unity one of them.
It's not an easy job, and I carry a lot with me, both on my back and in my heart, and these kinds of things do affect me, whether any of you think that they do or not, they do affect me.
Hold our officials accountable.
I truly believe that we, as a city, have not taken this problem seriously enough.
And at the same time, remember that we're all in this together. Now, our entire Fox 29 family has embraced the challenge of trying to save our streets. And while doing that, they found people all over our area who are actively involved in making a difference.
This B. McFly, the top motivator in the world and your sober messenger. I don't want to kill you, I want to heal with you. I don't want to kill you, I want to heal with you.
They call me B. McFly, which is being motivated comes from loving yourself. 2 weeks towards the end of my rehabilitation program, I just said I'm gonna be the top motivator in the world and the sober messenger. And being motivated comes from loving yourself. It's not about the out, it's within.
B. McFly unfortunately lost friends to gun violence, and he also was a victim, which led to his addiction to prescription medication. He believes the city's gun violence is a multifold issue.
Homes, schools, and drug addiction. These kids don't know how to articulate their struggles, their pains, their trauma. I started creating skits to spread awareness. Then with my skits, transparency. Because you can jump on camera and start talking. People don't want to hear that. And then that's how I start going viral. It's somebody that's just like you that's struggling.
Shooter, imagine what a child would say to you before you kill him.
His videos on social media caught the eye of Philadelphia City Council members and NBA stars. His message, I don't want to kill you, I want to heal with you, was tested when his son was unfortunately shot on his lunch break.
He got shot during his transition of changing. I talked to the alleged father. We the only ones that can stop this. Everybody want to talk about, but when a person gets shot, it's still on. No, we're not gonna continue this cycle. I'm gonna make sure that my son, I'm gonna heal with my son, because I know mentally, you know, you're dealing with temptation, peer pressure, life of social media. You're a chump, you're a coward, you're a B. You gotta deal with all that. Let me deal with this with you.
So from social media influencer to entrepreneur, they're both using their time, efforts, and experience to try to make things better for our next generation.
I always tell people I'm not a motivational speaker, I'm a motivational doer. I can tell you one thing, I can show you different. I can show you better than I can tell you.
When you first meet Derek Copes, it's easy to see success. He owns a detailing business and has an established clientele that trusts him taking their $100,000 cars. But what you don't see is how he got here.
He used to deal drugs, he used to be a drug dealer in Camden. You know, thinking that that was the only way that I could take care of myself and, you know, basically running with the pack, running, you know, being fascinated by the things that I saw, that I wanted to obtain, materialistic things.
And like so many others, predictably it ended badly. But he now views that bad ending as a new beginning.
And I got caught, and you always get caught. So me getting caught was a blessing because, you know, it could have went the other way. I could have been murdered. I could have died in the streets. But I got caught. I went to jail, went to prison.
That was his past. But in the 20-plus years since he was released, Derek has been committed to showing anyone who will listen a better way.
I'm actively opening the doors because people have opened the doors for me. I haven't always been who I am, and I'm still a work in progress. What I've come to realize is everybody deserves a second chance. Some deserve second, third, fourth, fifth chance. That's why the name of my foundation is the Fifth Second Chance.
His foundation, the Fifth Second Chance, is all about empowering people to help save our streets. So if you're looking for someone who cares or just looking for an opportunity to do better, they're out there.
If I give you a 15-minute conversation, I can pull you, put you in my car, and take you to work right then and there, and groom you, and teach you the skills, you know, not just profiting skills, money skills, but life skills.
It's worth noting that after our initial story, Derek reached out to us to tell us he's making good on his word and inviting young people in to work with him, and he's willing to take more. He says that if you know people who would benefit from association, just reach out, and we'll be right back. One of the most upsetting things that we've experienced is just how personal gun violence is to so many in our communities. From people who are trying to save their own children from gun violence to those who have been victims of it themselves, the people we spoke to are clear that this problem, it impacts us all.
He thinks the dinosaur bit it. That's his comfort.
It's the only way 22-year-old Diamond Wilson says her two young sons, Kamad and Nurmad, can understand the scars and bandages on her face. But the harsh reality is she was shot and will likely lose her left eye.
I will never get vision in that eye because the bullet literally bust the eye open.
She says someone fired several shots near 59th and Filbert in West Philly as she and a friend were driving by headed to a neighborhood store. It happened in the early morning hours of October 7th.
I didn't think I was going to make it just because they sounded so close. Like I didn't know where they were coming from. And we turned and the bullet entered the car.
Diamond says the lasting trauma is real.
It's been very, very depressing. It's been very hard.
And the nightmares causing her to relive the shooting over and over with no escape.
You hear gunshots growing up, and you hear gunshots all day, every day, but until it hits you, you don't hear it the same.
She says she always imagined helping victims of gun violence and educating young people about the danger of it. As a teen, she was part of a community group called Earth Day Kids. When she was 14, she wrote a song called Put the Guns to Sleep. This is video of them practicing for a performance during Philly's March for Our Lives rally when I interviewed the group in March of 2018.
Gun violence is a problem and it's no solution. It's a problem with no solution to it. And it's like, I never thought I'd be the one affected by it, but I thought that I might be able to help someone that was affected by it.
She wonders if her shooter is also a victim of some sort of trauma that would cause them to do this.
People just need help themselves. Like, maybe if that guy would have been helped, he wouldn't have did it. Like, who knows?
Just be present is the rallying cry of a local group that's trying to do something about gun violence in our communities. They're pretty clear that young people may be part of the problem, but the responsibility lies on us adults, and they're doing their best every day to meet that responsibility.
Just trying to live a regular life when, you know, people are getting shot left or right.
We want to make a change because some of our kids is not even getting a chance to see past 16, and I feel like everybody deserves a chance to see past 16.
We want to get them to reflect.
Every time you hear young people discuss the reality of the gun violence that they face, it should make us all cringe, but we also need to acknowledge those trying to do something about it.
I mean, it's awful that young people out here shoot one another, but we're the adults, right? Kids gonna do what they can get away with, no matter what kind of kid, on any spectrum, you know what I mean? So we gotta take the responsibility.
And that's what was happening on this day in Oak Lane. Adults from various backgrounds were taking the time to try to teach young people better options before it's too late.
I started off as a rap artist. I got into a little bit of trouble, created my clothing brand and my sneaker brand while I was incarcerated, and now I'm home trying to make a change.
It's sad that, you know, we'll all organize for the funeral. But how about we start having pre-funerals, right? For the person that we know needs the intervention. Because everybody gonna show up for the funeral and celebrate the life, but if everybody that showed up at the funeral showed up now for that kid that we know is on their way to a funeral, and we do an intervention, we won't have no funerals.
Students from 2 local schools were the first to participate in the anti-violence symposium. They did have some fun, got to just be kids and teens, but they also learned what to do when faced with things escalating to violence.
They never been presented with other options a lot of times, you know, so if the thing to do is to have a gun to protect yourself, that's what the kid's gonna do if that's all they know. You know, until an option is presented.
These kids need support. They need to be talked to like, you know, kids and understand that they are kids and they have to be molded into being an adult. And that's what I think the main thing is here.
This was the first symposium, but organizers say it's not the last. They'll be going to every neighborhood, addressing as many students as possible because they believe doing our part is all of our responsibility.
We just need to stop because at the end of the day, we're all a community and we're all trying to make it out. So I feel like adults, they should just hear us out more, like listen, like talk, help us.
If we start healing there with these 1,000 murders, if we start to heal in there, then the healing will trickle out just like the violence is trickling out.
Now their plan for zero violence continues, and they're starting to see some measurable results. Now the question becomes, will we join the fight? Stay with us. We'll be right back. Now, we found that when you're actively engaging communities, there are a series of themes that continue to pop up. And if we want to have some serious level of hope, these are the challenges that we have to overcome. We're just getting started, but there have been a handful of basic themes that continue to present themselves as obstacles to overcoming gun violence. Some are obvious, like fear.
We have to start protecting our women and children, especially the ones that come up and speak out. These are children. Why do they have bounties on their head? Why are our state, local, and state agencies not standing up for these families that speak out?
I mean, it's kind of nerve-wracking because, like, you never know. Like, I can go outside, go to the store, and I just get hit with a bullet.
My son wants to play basketball. There's days that I really beg and cry. He's like, Mom, you trying to put me in a bubble. You gotta let me live my life, but I'm scared. Why I can't be scared to let my son go play basketball? He's a child.
Another common theme was a lack of community trust in those charged with solving the problems.
I think the politicians aren't doing enough. I think they'll put out a statement when something happens, but they won't actually do any real hard work to get the community better.
If I know you come from the same streets I come from, or not even that, if you have an understanding of what I'm going through, that's it, honestly, then I'll talk to you and then I'll take from you. That makes sense? But you can't just get people that just graduated from Penn State College and be like, all right, now go talk to those gangsters with all the face tats and tell them to stop using guns. You can't do it because it's not going to work.
And of course, we regularly hear about way too many guns easily landing in the hands of people who simply shouldn't have them.
What we know from comprehensive tracing through the ATF National Tracing Center is that firearms are primarily being diverted into Philadelphia from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I say that, but I also want to clarify in the sense that we do have a significant amount of firearms that are trafficked into the city of Philadelphia from other states.
These are the obstacles that we face as we continue the journey to save our streets. But in light of all of that, one last common theme we've experienced: hope.
Way more of this. We need everybody in their neighborhoods to be involved. It's the only way. We need to meet the youth where they're at. We need to take the time and listen to them.
To try to be patient and try to understand that these kids don't have the mind of an adult, and we have to talk to them like they're kids and not come at them like when we're the adult and we want them to think like us. But we have to talk to them like they're children, and we have to nurture them to get them up to being an adult.
With our whole Save Our Streets initiative, we want to be your partner. This is our city, so we want to work with you, and we hope you will continue to work with us. Because
Absolutely.
Together, we need to do something about this.
Absolutely.
So yes, the challenges are enormous, but so is the level of hope and commitment to do something about the gun violence in our communities. We've got no plans to stop the Save Our Streets initiative, so if you have stories that need to be told, ideas that you would like us to share, please just reach out to us. I'm Bill Anderson, and on behalf of the entire Fox 29 family, thanks so much for watching.